Our project is entitled Settlement Experiences, Housing Careers, and the regionalization of immigration to mid-sized cities in the interior of BC. Finally, I was able to convince my good friend, Julie Drolla. She was the only woman in this planet since I arrived in Canada who refused 3 times to join forces with me. Thanks, Julie. I'm delighted to be here. So she's the co-investigator in this project with me. I had good reasons to work with Julie. She was my neighbor in Kamloops for a long time, and every time I tried, she said no. My wife, I married for 36 years. She said yes the first time. I know as a scholar you made my life difficult. Thanks a lot. Anyway, now with 5 minutes to go, I will read briefly the goal of our project. Both Kelowna and Kamloops face unique challenges in attracting and retaining new immigrants, due in part to a less of developed network of immigrant settlement and community services, and deficient housing markets and housing services. Yesterday I talked a lot about Kelowna, the 4th most expensive real estate market. It says all. The main purpose of our study is to evaluate settlement experiences, B, the availability of local services, and C, the existence of barriers, including housing challenges. Our study will also assess the state of community services and the role of the latter in attracting and retaining immigrants to Kelowna and Kamloops. Also, we will try to present recommendations in attracting and retaining immigrants and how to improve their integration in the interior of BC. For those who never went to Kelowna and Kamloops, just 2 or 3 words about these two cities. Kelowna in 2006 had close to 106 versus 80,000 in Kamloops. Both are mid-sized cities. In terms of immigrant population, our percentage was around 15%. In Kamloops was around 10%. So we are 2 white and aging regions, particularly Kelowna. In the case of Kamloops, you are underpopulated also as a region. But there are a lot of similarities, so that's why I try to work with Julie in this project, because we have 2 small cities and we don't have too many publications, too much research dealing with small and mid-sized cities. Yesterday I was lucky to go to a great workshop entitled Research Priorities for Immigrants in Remote Small Communities. I learned a lot. So if you do research in small communities, in remote communities, you are always stuck with lack of data. You are always stuck with who is living where, doing what. You are always stuck or screwed, quote unquote, with the issue, do they return back to other cities? So, and in Kelowna and Kamloops, you know, we also have our own problems, our own challenges doing research in those cities. In terms of key research questions, I have 10. I don't think I will have time to read all of them, but our first question is, what are the socio-demographic profiles of those who live in Kelowna and Kamloops? What is the state of local services supporting immigrant communities? What role those services play in the successful integration, attraction, and retention of immigrants in these cities? Do available settlement and community services and housing matter in their decision to locate in Kelowna and Kamloops? What are the major barriers? What are the major challenges that immigrants encounter in settling in those 2 particular cities? What is their current housing situation, and what barriers have they faced in locating affordable, suitable, and adequate housing? Do the housing conditions of these groups change over time, improve over time? What do they know about homeownership levels? How long it takes now to become a homeowner in Canada, when we know that owning a house is one of the most important things for immigrants? What integrative role, if any, does a welcoming community play in the successful inclusion of new immigrants in Kelowna and Kamloops? And last but not least, I hope we will find answers to all these questions. If not, we are in trouble. What policy changes are recommended to deal with the issues identified, or that will be identified by our study? In terms of always controlling time, Vicky?
No, well.
Okay. So she's not moving. This is a good sign. She is my boss. So, so in terms of methodology, we plan to have 4 focus groups, 2 in Kelowna, 2 in Kamloops. We will also do informal interviews, around 20, 10 in Kelowna, 10 in Kamloops. I was telling Vicky, what makes this so interesting, so unique is that we scholars, and sometimes we are boring because we just talk to ourselves, we publish, nobody reads, and what makes these P2P communities is you are the insiders, you know more than us. So forget the PhDs, forget the titles, but my point is, in all studies that I do, and Julie knows that, and we will do that again, we talk with you. We talk with you because you are the true insiders. And don't, as yesterday on that workshop, please bother us, send us emails, because sometimes you don't have access to our publications. And so we will do 4 focus groups, 20 informal interviews with key informants, and a survey questionnaire to approximately 50 immigrants. And last but not least, I stop there.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.